Hey guys, welcome. My name's Cacy with Austin Credit Care.
I'm Tasha Green with Go Green Realty.
And welcome to another episode of
House Ready.
Guys, House Ready is where we are going over all the ins and outs of the entire home buying process. Everything from when you're thinking about applying or even thinking about a home to the house shopping and the fun stuff, looking at neighborhoods and all that. Today, this episode, you guys, is something a little different than what we typically do. We're doing a little bit of outside the box here. When it comes to this getting house ready and buying a home, I think everybody's picturing the cookie cutter home, the 4-bedroom home, that's in, Center City, Austin, or, whatever, in that perfect neighborhood. But that is not everybody has the same life.
Right.
We are in 2021 to where now, 20-year-olds are buying homes and, 30-year-olds have 6 homes and they're investing in, the whole home buying and real estate, game is totally changed.
Absolutely.
So if you are thinking and you're like, hey, I know I'm paying in rent and I'm paying on the stuff, I could own something, and you may not even need to own something that you're going to live in for the rest of your life. You just know your money could be going to better use.
Right.
So on this episode, we want to talk about some other options on buying something that you can own that's not basically your cookie cutter family home in the middle of, the perfect neighborhood in the city. The other options out there for you to, start owning something, get an investment in there for yourself, and start getting something that is yours. So other than the cookie cutter home, let's talk about some of the other options when it comes to looking for something out there.
Yeah, so let's start with the basics. Let's start with a single family resident home. Just a traditional, it could vary between they're harder to find. It could be a 1-bedroom, 2-bedroom, 3-bedroom, 4 and up. A regular traditional home, some of those, the pros with some of it having a regular traditional home, it's more, family oriented.
Mm-hmm.
It could be a situation where you have, in-laws, or, you can have the space to make it work for everybody.
Okay.
A lot of us right now going through COVID are utilizing, work from home areas. You can have an office space. You can have a large enough backyard where you can add a little office space, like a little shed. Kids have yard to run around in. So those are some of the pros with having a single family residence. Some of the cons about it, it could be too much yard for some people.
Uh-huh.
People don't maybe want to landscape it. It could feel too big. They don't feel like, the lifestyle that they have. Maybe they feel like it's too much of a cost and I'm not going to be there most of the time.
Okay.
So that's basically kind of depends on lifestyle and what your goals are in the next few years.
Okay, so the single family home, that's more of, I would think that's for somebody who's got a family, they're in it, and that's looking to probably own something for your family and to move in with with people with you, with your spouse and your kids, or like you said, in-laws or mother-in-law.
But you can also be creative, especially with real estate. Let's say you are a single person and you're like, what, I want to invest in me. I want to buy a house. I want to have a little space. You can do a couple of things. Those rooms could be designed as another closet, or
Okay, I get what you're saying. So the way you're saying is that the single family residence, it's not single family. You're saying even you yourself, you could go get a home, or I could go and get a home, and instead of picturing it as the bedrooms for the kids, or whatever, it's the extra bedrooms for your studio, or your your office, or your workout room, whatever you want to do. It's not necessarily you have to use those rooms for the ideal image.
Or what if you're going to buy a 3-bedroom home and 2 of your best friends also rent? Y'all could just be roommates.
Okay, so you could buy the home, they pitch in for you on the mortgage, and then you're actually paying to own the home instead of renting it.
Right, absolutely.
Nice. Okay, so that's a really good idea. I like that.
Yeah. One of the other options is a townhome.
Okay.
These are the type of homes that are connected to each other, but still have your own space. So you have, it could be like a big unit, and then you have half of the unit is one home or townhome, but it's connected has a space, and then you have the other townhome on the other side. Some of the pros with the townhome is because it's more. Some people don't really care to have or want to do with landscaping. They don't want a yard. They're mostly going to be in the house. So that's kind of a good thing for those people that really don't want to have to worry about a yard at all.
Okay.
So a townhome could work out for them. Some of the cons with it could be it could kind of feel too boxed in for some people. Some people don't want that possible attachment to someone else.
Yes.
And depending on how the townhomes are laid out, you usually have like garage on this side, front door on this side, then the neighbor would have garage on that side, and then the door on the other side to kind of give you that distance. But depending on how they're set up, they could be like the front doors are on each side of each other. So some people are like, that's too close for comfort, you know?
Okay.
And it may not necessarily have that homey feel. Sometimes townhomes have multiple levels. I've seen them with 2 and 3 levels, sometimes 4, and it may not provide that homey feel. For some people.
Yeah, that's really cool. I used to live in a townhouse. That's cool. Like, I've never thought about really buying one. But I can see the benefits in it, like the way like I'm thinking about it now, and I can see like if you were to buy a townhome, like you're getting all those benefits of the amenities, probably like if there's a pool, if it's gated, like if there's a dog park, you know, trails, whatever, like you're getting all of those benefits that you get with apartment living, like, you know what I mean, with townhome, with community, like living in a community, which is really nice because like you miss some of those things when you go to a house versus being in, you know, like in a neighborhood versus being in a small community like that, where you have just those nice things so close, and like, you know, you have tennis courts, whatever, like it's really nice. So I can totally see like some really cool pros with that. And like if you do like community and like being, you know, you may be right next to somebody, but if like you're cool with that, you like saying what's up to your neighbors in the morning or like when you get home, and you know, seeing like your kids play with other kids, you know, from, you know, the neighbors across the street, that's actually like I can see it being really cool.
Yeah, it could really be a community of a smaller community, you know.
And I can you know, I imagine if you are living in a community of townhomes where people are buying them versus renting them, the upkeep, the respect for the property, the respect for the neighbors would probably be a totally different feel. Like all those people, you know, in the community, if you're in a community where I assume like people are owning, it would be a different feel versus being in a townhome community where people are renting, or it may be mixed. But I think it's cool like that if you are there where people are owning, like that's, you know, those are longtime neighbors. It's not like you have the cons if you like your neighbors of them moving out, you know, every year you're losing them. Like you may actually have some neighbors close to you that you're keeping for a while.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. One of the other options that you can consider in purchasing a residence is a condo. And definitely in the Austin area, kind of what's going on right now, you know, there's not a lot of inventory on the market right now for single family resident homes. And condos are now people are pivoting towards condos. It kind of gives you, and in other ways, it kind of gives you, like if you like that apartment style, you can find some really good condos that have multiple bedrooms, have nice views, also offer amenities like an apartment, but also kind of give you your privacy like in your own area. Definitely, you know, in downtown and different areas, they make them very attractive, set up really nice views. You have covered parking, or you have a sign
garage.
It can also be the condos can be very secure. Sometimes some of them have dog parks in them. And sometimes you have common areas. So some you have really large common areas, like a little what do you call those rooms where you can like rent it out? Like if you were gonna have like a bridal shower.
Oh, like a conference room and stuff that you can do that with.
Yes. Okay. You have the opportunity to rent those out, and then some of the condos have like front desk staff, like a security where
like a concierge.
Yeah, concierge nice. Where nobody can go up without. You know, some people have a key card, or you have a code you have to put in. So that's
nice. That's secure. I have seen some really nice condos in downtown, like right down on 5th Street. You know, like headed right there. It's just, oh my goodness, I've seen them. I used to have a friend that lived in downtown, and we could see the people like right on the other side of, you know, the street from us, where it was a building of condos, and you could see in where like there were 2 stories, like beautiful modern condos, and I can totally see that being such a cool option for anybody who's like needs to move to Austin. Like you're coming here for Tesla, you're coming here for, you know, a new job or whatever, and buying a home in Center City Austin is like, you get ready for $1 million home,
Right.
you know, but like, you know, and a condo will still be expensive too, but I can imagine like just a condo giving you that feel of like if you're worried about jumping into owning a home, you have that community. It's a smaller space.
Yeah.
You know, you have that building stuff like concierge.
Yeah.
There's just so many pros to that. Like,
and there's no maintenance. You know, even
Yeah.
someone that wants to downsize, like, you know, let's say someone that is retired has, you know, 3-4 bedroom house. It's large lot. You know, the kids are grown. The grandkids are a little bit older, and it's like too much space. You know, someone in that position could also downsize to somewhere like that where your maintenance is covered. You don't have to worry about breaks and things like that as well. So it could be an option for that person as well.
That is really cool. I like that.
Yeah.
I like the idea of being able to own something in the city without having to own a whole home and land and, like you said, maintenance and all of that. Maintenance on a home is probably like one of the most things that is like terrifying, I think, for most people, is because it's all of this stuff that like you don't know, and some of it's like physical stuff. You're like, well, I'm gonna have to like fix the sink, like, you know, I don't have somebody to call anymore.
And then let's say, for example, life changes. Let's say you're a single person or you're a young couple, and we want something, but we don't want to buy the whole house right now. We want to wait. Go ahead and buy it. Let that buy right now to turn it into your investment later.
Yes.
Condos are amazing Airbnbs. So they can give a great investment on your return. So you want to buy something else and turn that condo into an Airbnb. I know several people that are very successful with Airbnb business with condos.
Yeah,
you can Airbnb anything, honestly, to be honest. But condos, because they're attractive,
I see people Airbnb
location.
tents.
Oh yeah. Because the RVs too. I've seen that too. Just because location, the attractiveness, that privacy, but they also have that little bit of security as well. That's kind of why condos do so well with Airbnbs.
Yeah, and then there's now like Pure Space and stuff where people can rent out your place for like an hour or two just to have like a meeting or, you know, or a conference or a photo shoot and stuff like that, to where you can not even let people stay there overnight. You can get paid hourly for letting somebody come in your place. And you can even do that while you're there. You can be in the condo and have people come and use your space and use it as a second income. So that's really cool. Condos sound like a really cool option. What else do we have?
Yeah. The next thing is duplexes. I think duplexes are really becoming more popular because now people have more education and awareness about them. With duplexes, you know, you have the property that has two areas of living on each side, kind of like a townhome, but not the whole home feel, you know, more like kind of like an apartment, more horizontal type feel with the duplexes. But a lot of people didn't know or weren't aware in the previous years that you can buy a duplex with an FHA loan, with a first time homeowner's loan. Yeah.
Okay.
So a lot of people are taking advantage of that because you're getting two properties, and yes, you're making the mortgage payment, you know, over the whole property, but you could be living in one side and get a tenant to rent the other side to pay the mortgage.
Oh my gosh, so it's like you're buying, if you were to buy like a duplex as your first property, you're already like, you're automatically buying your home and an investment property like in one.
Yes.
Like you get 2 for 1 is pretty much what it sounds like.
Absolutely. And so that's why it's becoming so hot and so popular. But now people are realizing that they are hard and rare to find. So when they come on the market, they go. If you look at the MLS right now, there are no duplexes available. A lot of times they are off market. You know, they're being sold to like investors and things like that. So you got to kind of be in tune with where to find them. But they do come available off market. One of the the cons you want to be aware of is maintenance.
Okay.
Because you gotta do your maintenance, and then you're now a landlord. You're responsible to take care of the other tenants' maintenance as well. So that can kind of be a con. But if the rental market is, you know, hot enough, you could probably push a little bit more on your rental to make sure you cover the cost of those unexpected maintenance fees.
Okay, cool. So it sounds like a duplex is an option. Like, you know, it's when you're wanting out kind of like you're able to handle the responsibility of a home, but you're not, you know, wanting all the way out of like the apartment living at. You still just need something small, and it can bring you in another income. It sounds like that's a really good option if like you're in that position and like you can, like, you're not scared of the maintenance on a home. If you know, like, you know how to prepare for that. Maybe it's not your first time owning a home either. Like, and a duplex seems like a great investment property.
It really is. Yeah. So they would go the same thing for like a triplex, which is 3. A duplex is 2 living areas. Triplex 3. Quadplex 4.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's cool. So duplex, and then what about, so the duplex is where, like, it's one building and it's the two homes, or the triplex, or whatever. But what about like the manufactured homes, like where you can just where it's like the house where it's already made and you just move it to where you
Those
want.
are becoming very, very popular as well because, I mean, if you have not had an opportunity to look at some of those modular homes or mobile homes or even tiny homes, I mean, they're making them really nice.
Yeah.
I'd be like, all that? I ain't got all that in my house.
Yeah.
So they're very, very attractive. I mean, they are putting everything in these manufactured homes. I'm sorry, they're nice.
Yeah.
And the price point is lower. It's way more affordable.
Yes.
But some of the cons with these manufactured homes, tiny homes, and mobile homes is the land. Land around this area and Austin area and the greater Austin area is like gold.
Okay.
It's hard to find. When you find it, it goes very fast and it can be expensive. So if you work with a tiny home company or a manufactured home company or a mobile home company, sometimes they already have designated lots. But you have to rent the lot. So not only will you have the mobile home or modular home payment, which is relatively way cheaper than a home, owning a home, you have a lot rent that you have to pay for and you don't own the land.
Okay. So, that sounds like it can be a challenge. So, when it comes to, like, if you're wanting to use, like, a mobile home or, manufactured home as an option, land is probably something you need to look at first. Because buying the home, you have to know where to put it.
Right.
So, that sounds like land, you need to be ready to make a land purchase. So sounds like maybe not necessarily inside Austin, unless because it can get really expensive, and like you said, it's scarce. But if you're not in the middle of the city and you're living in a city that's not Austin, you're a bit out, and there is land out there, and maybe the home, buying a full home, is really expensive or too much of a payment for you, a mobile home would be a good option.
It could be. Yeah. What if your family member has land? What if they have an acre, a home with an acre on it? Go get you a mobile home or a modular home, a tiny home, and slap it on that land because your family owns that. Or what if you have a friend that owns a large amount of land and it's just sitting there? Hey, just ask. Would you mind if I placed like a modular home or mobile home on your property on this? And you're still making a lower payment, and maybe you can pay them a little bit for renting the space, but not as much, if you were going through a mobile home company. But just want to reiterate, mobile home companies and modular home companies a lot of times already have designated land for you. And they may or may not be able to give you an option of where you can go, but that lot rent can be, it used to be like 300s. Now we're running into the 400s, 500s and up.
Okay. Yeah, no, I have a really good friend that actually does this here in Austin, and she works for a company that does that, where she does the manufactured homes. I'm going to, I think, make a video with her as well, maybe, and tag it on this description. Hey guys, check it out. So I was able to go tour some manufactured homes right here south of Austin by the new Tesla Gigafactory. Manufactured homes with land, they're available. The link to see the tour is in the description of this video. Go check it out. Okay. Because like you said, the ones that, that when you think manufactured homes, you don't think of the nicest thing. But that is not the case. These homes are nice. And when you're buying a home, some people end up settling for a home that, was built back in the 80s or the 90s, and I can imagine being one of those people and then walking into a manufactured home and realizing wow, it really is just when things are made. And so maybe you can't afford, the big house that was built back in the 80s. It's already on the land in the middle of the city. But hey, you can afford this really cool house with all these new, all this new stuff that'll be less maintenance, and that you can start there.
Absolutely. Yeah. Don't go to sleep on the manufactured homes, modular homes, or even the tiny homes. So when I jump into tiny homes are extremely popular now because a lot of people got nervous with COVID. It kind of put people in financial challenges, and it really kind of opened people's eyes to their finances and kind of, okay, are we really living outside our means? Do we really need this? So a lot of people are downsizing.
Okay.
And the tiny homes, they look tiny, but it's all about, even when you're looking at a purchase of a home, even when you're for example, you're looking on the MLS, You're looking at, I want to make sure I have 2,000 square feet. I tell all my clients, don't get so caught up in square footage. It's all about where the footage is laid.
Yes.
You could have a lot of square footage and take up your living room. Your square footage could be split really well amongst the bedrooms. So tiny homes, they're small on the outside, but the inside, I mean, it's compact to meet your needs. But I mean, they can be designed very, very nice.
Yeah, and I believe like there are even companies that will design tiny homes for you.
Yes.
Where you can actually go and like get an architect that will sit down with you and design a home that is built for your lifestyle and like for you, like you said, like to not live out of your budget. Like, and if I can see that if somebody's thinking of downsizing and they're like, I am living out of my means. I bought this house when I had 4 kids. They're all gone. Do I need this? Like, could I downsize? And like having something made for you that, maybe it's not the giant square footage, but it has the space, the amount of space you need for everything. You know what I mean? It's built for you.
Everything. I'm even talking about washer, dryer. Everything goes into that tiny house.
That is cool.
They're just the cutest little things, and they could be movable. Definitely investment property. That Airbnb's quick.
Airbnb. That's what I was about to say. I've seen a ton of tiny homes on Airbnb.
So we're trying to bring insight so you don't, because sometimes you can get very closed-minded.
Yes.
And we want to open your mind and open you to the opportunities that home purchases, various types, can bring you.
Yes.
You know what also is coming really popular as well?
What?
RVs.
Yeah. And they're really cool,
and they're
too.
full.
They go up now. They're not like there's a second story to RVs
lots
now.
are full. After COVID, I mean, RV lots are just getting sold out. I mean, it's crazy. I'm excited. I just can't believe it.
Life too. Like you can just
you can
basically get up and go whenever
exactly.
you want.
And it saves. Anywhere. It saves. You want to travel, take that RV. You don't have to pay for a hotel.
Yep.
If for example, a small family, maybe you don't need a big old RV camper, huge. But what if like your children are in cheer or do AAU and y'all travel a lot? Those hotel bills can cost a lot of money. You could have already padded RV cash already and paid, and y'all already have a space.
Oh my gosh, even if you just add up like all your summer vacations, like even if you only take like 2 vacations a year and you're only driving somewhere like, a couple 100 miles away, that is still like just even a couple stays a year will help.
You got me thinking. Thanks, Cacy, for the guilt trip. Now I'm thinking, I didn't pay last couple of years. Think about it. You take a vacation. Let's say you fly somewhere. Let's say you fly, Hawaii. 4,000 here, 4,000 there. You could have bought an RV cash.
Yeah.
And y'all could have done road trip. So, you really just got to just take a step back and just really think about all this.
Yeah. And then, okay, I want to step back for just a second because I have a question. When we were talking about, manufactured homes and tiny homes, and it brought it to my mind because we're talking about RVs and how you can take them anywhere. With manufactured homes and tiny homes, you can still move those. If you buy the land, and you put it there, those are still movable, right?
Tiny homes are. The mobile homes can be moved, but you're going to have to get a mobile home company to move them.
Okay.
And that can be expensive based on where they're traveling from and to. A tiny home, if you get it set up correctly, you can
have it built for it.
You can have it built for it.
Because I can see that, like if you're one of those people where you're moving every few years, or maybe it's you want to, like hey, in a few years I know I'm gonna want to move, but I want to own something. That's a really cool way to have something designed for that lifestyle.
Absolutely. And you know what else? It could be a good opportunity for an RV or a tiny home. Travel nurses or people that do a lot of travel assignments. Okay. So think about that.
That's something I didn't think about because that is like there are so many people who that's a lifestyle. Mm-hmm. Traveling is a lifestyle, and owning something may not have even been like really a real option for them until they like things like this were really brought into question, like and really thinking outside of the box, like they may have not thought they were going to get to own something because like it's hard to get out of the mindset of like the cookie cutter home, like and think about your other options. So this is a really cool way if you're traveling is something or you're not ready to buy the full house yet, to think about those other options.
Mm-hmm. Yes, absolutely.
Okay, so I love that we talked about other than if if you're wanting to buy a home and you're not ready to jump into, you know, a million dollar home in the middle of Austin, or just buy, you know, you're not ready for the full house, there are other options. You can get into owning something and get out of renting without having to buy like the, you know, single family residence. You can buy, there are all these other options for you.
Absolutely. And if you haven't understood by the end of this that just having even whatever type of purchase you want to make, the opportunities that open up once you have it and you're not stuck. So a lot of people feel like, I'm going to buy a house, whatever type it is, and I'm stuck. You're never stuck, especially with real estate. There's so many ways you can make money off of that. You know, you talked about people renting a condo by the hour. Look at the opportunities that can be provided and more multiple streams of income that can come in just by even having a type of property in your possession.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so today, guys, we kind of dove into some thinking outside of the box when it comes to, you know, owning, you know, a home or a property. Like if you're looking into getting out of renting and into a home, these were some other options. If you guys have questions over any of this stuff, drop your questions down in the comments below. We want to answer them. If you guys want to talk more about this with, you know, either fixing your credit to own something, or you're looking into purchasing something and you have some more questions, there are going to be links for booking appointments with both Tasha and I for free consultations. So that way, if you guys have questions, we are here for you. If you guys just want to hear more about other topics when it comes to the home buying process, drop those in the comments too, because we want to make more videos to bring you guys value on what y'all want to hear. Until then, you guys, we will see y'all next Thursday, where we're posting our house ready videos. My name is Cacy with Austin Credit Care.
I'm Tasha with Go Green Realty Group.
And we'll see you guys next time.
Bye.